Good morning, good day, good afternoon. My name is Alexander Moroz and I'm the lead developer for Cool Button Designer from MRZ Media. So today I would like to introduce you to a Cool Button Designer version 7.0. Cool Button Designer version 7.0 is going to bring a new feature. This feature will be so important for people who would like to create a better looking button. And the feature will be to bring an image into your button. So now with version 7.0 you can bring the text and image at the same time on your button. It also supports the transparency. So you can bring the PNG image on your button and have the background of that image transparent. Let me show you what I meant. After you installed the Cool Button Designer version 7.0 or newer versions, you will have and you will run the application, you will end up with a screen like this. This is how Cool Button Designer version 7.0 starts. It has three options for you to choose from, of three options of different rendering. It has the classic style button designer that was available only for Cool Button Designer up to version 6, and those two others wasn't available earlier than version 6. Right now you have ability to select from three different options. And let's say I would like to go with the iOS style button designer, and those buttons, as you can see, look like Windows 7 lookish buttons. And here's some preview for you, but it's not limited to those preview. Basically you can create up to unlimited buttons, unlimited rendering buttons. It all depends to your creativity, but software has the tools and the options to tweak and make sure that every single button will look unique. Alright, you can also import templates, and the import templates will give you ability to import your previous saved buttons, and you can start just change and tweak them. Cool Button Designer version 7.0 allows you to save a template, which is a cool thing. Alright, so I'm gonna go with this option. I'm gonna click next. As you can see, program so smart, and it's already tells you what to do. And over here I have two options to go with, borderless or bordered. I'm gonna go bordered, and now I need to name my button and change the size that I want. But keep in mind, the button name should be unique for every single button, because when Cool Button Designer will print you the HTML code, it will include the single unique name into your code. And if you will have more than one button on one web page created with Cool Button Designer, and every single button will have unique name, you're not going to have any problems or issues. What is going to be generated by Cool Button Designer. But if you will have the same button names, and you will have, for instance, 3 buttons on one web page created with Cool Button Designer, and they all will have the same name, in the end, when Cool Button Designer will generate you the HTML code and you will embed that code on your web page, you will end up with a problem that only first button will work and the other is not going to animate. So to fix that problem, please try to make sure that you're naming your button with unique names. So today I'm gonna design the search button, and I'm gonna name it as a search. Okay, and the size I would like to stick with 140, and 45. I would say 50 on the height. Here's my button, default rendering, where I can change the light, the refraction, the glow light, any single color on this rendering, border color, and I can adjust the way the refraction going into the button, and also I can change the text, uh, tweak the text, like bring some shadows, embed into the button. Also I can include an image. This is the new features that comes with the Cool Button Designer version 7.0 and newer, where you can bring the image into your button and make it even better looking button 6.0. And by the way, all the owners of the Cool Button Designer 6.0 or earlier versions will have this update for free. This is a loyalty to our customers. Everybody who purchasing our software will have updates for free. Alright, button shapes. Button shapes, it's where you can adjust the way your button gonna look like. You can click browse and select the template, and select from the template how it's gonna look like. As you can see, the button is changing. So whatever you're clicking on some menus, always try to make sure, please, keep an eye on your button to see the way it's changing, because it's changing in real time. And let's say I would like to make a button like this. You can also adjust the corners, as you can see over here, and make it the way you want it. Also, you can bring the edge smoothing rendering to a button, so it's going to be like smoother looking button or sharper. It all depends to you. Also, there is like options like 2D basic, 2D basic beveled, when it's going to be beveled and engraved, and you can also adjust this little thing over here, piece. But let's stick with the 2D basic button right now, because this is the basic introduction to a Cool Button Designer version 7.0. Alright, I can rename the button. Let's say if I brought this button from a template, instead of start creating a new one, and I just want to create a home, I can rename it and name it home. Keep in mind, every single button needs to have unique name. Thank you so much. Button resizer. You can see I can resize the button. It's now smaller, the way I want it. Just set your custom values, but I suggest you do not go beyond 250 megapixels, because larger than that it will bring a little bit of distortion in pixels. Stay away, like keep lower than 400 pixels. Visual render, it's where you can adjust the rendering glossiness effect, like that refraction effect. Straight as it is right now by default, you can make it curvy like this, and up to 4 different levels, and you can also adjust the smoothness, the way it appears on the button. I would like to keep it like that. I'm fine totally with that. Button texture, it's where you can adjust and bring some textures to a button. So it's going to have some textures, like as you can see over here an example, but I'm not going to do so. But to be able to bring the texture on a button, you need to use button shape and select bevel button, engrave button, or engrave beveled. It doesn't work with 2D basic button. Let me show you what I meant. If I'm gonna create like this, you can see I have that border around the button, and if I'm gonna bring a texture of metal, let's say, it's gonna cover that with a metal texture, and I can adjust the light texture exposure on it the way I want it, and basically to work on a texture, and I can clear it anytime I want it. But doesn't work with since I'm gonna keep it as 2D basic button, I don't need any textures and I'm fine. Button border, this option will give you full control over the border on the button, and there is multiple borders. As you can see, there is a white border and a blue border around the button, and you can have fully control over that by adjusting the values like so, and make it the way you want it to look like. So play with that and try to learn it. It's a cool feature. And this is the third border that wasn't on the button button before. Alright, and next, light properties. Light properties can bring an extra light to your button to make it to give you ability and tools to create more 3D looking button. Let me demonstrate you. If I'm gonna click enable light rendering, I'm gonna have an extra light to my button, and I can play with the locations that will appear, or I can set manually the locations like so, and also I can change the color. Can make it yellow, whatever the color of the light I want to see over here. So basically I can just play with that and the way I want it. I can make it white looking, as you can see, and yeah, I can adjust, and pretty much I can even adjust the light, as you can see, the way the size of the lights. Alright, I can disable the light if I don't need to use it. Hyperlink. Hyperlink give you ability to add the hyperlink or URL page to your button. So if you're gonna click add link and type your website and then add link, it will go to that website when you're gonna click on that button, and it will print you the HTML code with already code that will go to the website if you will embed that code like so. And this is the website that's selling Cool Button Designer, and if you will buy from this website, I guarantee you that your Cool Button Designer will be 100% safe and clean. And right now it has the holiday discount of $9.99 instead of $14.99, which is the best value you can ever get. And as you can see, Cool Button Designer has some international awards from all those websites, and if you will click on those websites, you will go to those websites and you can see that they stated so. It's not like somebody made that banner, it's just on their page. There is some examples you can play with, but not limited to. And as you can see, it can work on Windows 7, 32-bit, 64-bit, Home Premium, Home Basic, Professional, and Ultimate version. It can work on Vista, Home Premium, Home Basic, Professional.